Hello, my name is Harvey. Usually I share videos of cows because I'm a farmer. But today I have a quick life lesson for you. Something I've learned in the last 2 years and I want to share it with you. And what that is that opportunity must be met halfway in life. Shout out to my friend Milan for the inspiration on this one. I'll link his Instagram in the description. What do I mean by opportunity must be met halfway? Well, it means you have to put your side of the equation in, and opportunity will then put its side of the equation in and meet you in the middle. This is an empowering thing to know because it means that you don't have to put 100% of the effort in to reach your goals. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. You only have to put your side of the equation in, and you must let life and synchronicity bring you the other half. You have to have that detachment. You have to be willing to let that flow into your life. You don't have to go and get everything. You just have to put the intention in 50% of the way. Now, if you're at 0%, it's like two ends of the spectrum. 0% is doing nothing, sitting in your house, making no action, making no movement. And don't get me wrong, no end of people are doing that. In fact, probably the majority of people are at that end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is just going all guns blazing, forcing everything to happen in your life and thinking that you have to make it all happen in your life. Now, you can just willpower your way through that for a certain amount of time, but it's just very tiring and very draining. And two, you're not leaving any room for luck or synchronicity. You're saying, this is how I want my life to be, and you're essentially saying, I can't have it any other way. I won't let anyone else or anything else change my vision. And you've got too tight a grip on life if you're at that end of the spectrum. Now that's 1% of people are up there. Okay, they've had lots of discipline, and they're trying to just willpower their way through. But that's very few people. What you want to be is in the middle of the spectrum where you're willing to walk halfway, like I said. So you wake up in the morning and you go about your life with intention. You're working towards some sort of goal or some sort of vision. It's starting to rain. And then once you're halfway, you're willing to let life do its thing and bring you whatever you're meant to have. Now, I don't mean for this to sound too spiritual, but I think it probably does require an element of spirituality to accept. Because if you're willing to leave that 50% up to God, up to the universe, then that requires faith, ultimately. And if you don't have that, this equation isn't going to work. Now, I mentioned detachment earlier. I will briefly speak about detachment because it's the secret sauce. It's required, and I don't think it's understood. You need to be detached from the outcome, but essentially attached to your intention and your process. So like I said, you wake up in the morning and you go about your business because you have a vision for what you want life or the world to look like. But you're not at the far end of the spectrum where you're saying, this is the way it's going to be exactly, and I won't accept anything otherwise. What else did I write down? Another mindset that's useful and that's linked to this is that you're basically entitled to the labour but not the fruits of your labour. So again, you can't be attached to the outcome, which is the fruits of your labour. All you can do is the labour itself. And that's what you're allowed. If you wake up every day and just go and do your work, presuming it is work you feel like you're obliged to do, not obliged, feel like you're meant to do, then let go of the outcome. Put the work in and let the opportunity meet you. There's a couple of expressions I've heard, such as leap and the net will appear. Leap and the net will appear. Personally, I prefer walk and the path will appear, because that sounds a bit more intentional. The idea of leaping sounds like you're just, risking it all and a net is saving you. You don't want to feel like you're getting saved in life. You want to feel like you're intentionally living, walking through this experience. and the path will appear as you do it. That is what it's like. You're walking with a torch that only shines 2 meters in front of you, and if you can't see the end of the path, you might be scared to even start walking. But as you walk, the path appears. I think that's quite simple. Hopefully that makes sense. So that wraps it up, really. Opportunity must be met halfway. You can't sit on your ass and do nothing, but you can't have too tight a grip. Put your side of the equation in and let life meet you halfway. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Hope this helps somebody. See you next time.